All right, what else should we say at meet and greet? Should we ask them if they're here to see anybody in particular? Okay, because if they have an appointment, we don't want to get in somebody's way, right? They may be here for parts, they may be here for service, they may be here for who knows what. But introduce yourself. I used to say shake hands. I don't think we probably should shake hands anymore, for a while anyway. Fist bump, elbow bump, I don't know. But ask them if they're here to see anybody in particular. If they're not, another thing I always say to the customers, I always say, hey, Brittany, if you're just out looking today, don't need to buy a car, that's cool. Now, why would I say that? Because it also keeps them from saying it. Keeps them from telling me they're just looking. If I say, if you're just looking today, don't need to buy a car, that's cool. We can have some fun. By the way, I'm going to guess that if you're like most of my customers, you've done a ton of research, right? Yeah, I have. Terrific. What I'd like to do is pick up where you left off. Anything you couldn't find on the internet, I'd be more than happy to give you that information. And if I don't have it, I'll get it for you. And by the way, we're not here to sell you a car today. If you find the right one, we're here to help you buy it. Will you let me help you buy a car today? Now, what do you think that's going to do to the customer's state, if you will?
It's going to take a lot of relief off their shoulders.
It's going to take, well, I mean, because when you go out and meet a customer, what's their state? Are they, say again? Apprehensive? Defensive? Standoffish? Scared? They're not running up and giving you a hug, are they? Look, a car salesperson, give some bitch a hug. No, they're not saying that. Because they've got a certain image of you. The most successful automobile salespeople I know are the least automobile car salesperson like. Meaning they're not the stereotypical, you here for the big sale? They're not stereotypical car salespeople. People don't like car salespeople, they like regular human beings. I meet Ivy, she's a car salesperson. I buy a car from Ivy, by that time she's probably a regular human being. I meet Connor, he's a car salesperson, even though he's only been doing it for what, 4 weeks? Okay, you're not even, okay? And I hope you never learn, but they're going to think that you already know. But if I buy a car from you, you've become Connor the human being. Be a regular human being, Terrell, not a car salesperson. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to hug them to death. My expertise is closing. My expertise is objection handling. That's what I do for a living. Next week, I'll work in 3 stores in North and South Carolina. And in each one, my job will be to teach closing skills, presenting the number skills, handling objection skills. So I'm a big believer in helping the customer say yes. I'm extremely persistent. But at the same time, I want to make sure the customer has a great experience. And the less I act like a stereotypical car salesperson, the better experience they're going to have. The better experience they have, the more likely they are to buy a car and take delivery of that vehicle. So, back to the meet and greet. Welcome to Steve Paget. How are you today? Nothing wrong with that. Are you here to see anybody in particular? Great. My name is Steve Richards. I'm going to guess that you've probably done some research before you got here. Am I right? What are most people going to say? Terrific. Glad you did your research. What I'd like to do is help you get any information you couldn't get off the internet. Anything that you were wondering about, we'll be more than happy to tell you about. As a matter of fact, don't want to sell you a car. Want to help you buy one. You're just looking today? Don't need to buy a car? That's fine. We'll make it an information gathering day. Now, by the way, what's my intent here? Is my intent just to waltz them around and send them home? No, my intent is to deliver a car today. Make no mistake about that. If I don't deliver them a car today, chances are I will never deliver them a car. I have a strong sense of urgency about that. When they get here, I'm going to help them buy a car, make no mistake. I'm going to be very persistent in my efforts to help them buy a car. And when it gets to the closing sequences, I'm going to be extremely persistent. But I want them to have a good time. I want them to perceive me as somebody different. I'm also going to